What's up, guys? TopTierYugioh here. Today we have some duels between Burning Abyss Zoodiacs and True King Dinosaurs. And if you haven't seen the deck profile for Burning Abyss Zoo, a link to that will be in the top right corner of the screen. Feel free to check that out whenever you get the chance. But nonetheless, let's get right into the action. And so game one, we opened up a pretty good hand going first or second. We have Ghost Ogre, Kaiju, both of those are good going second. And then we have Rat, Whiptail, which are very good going first. And then unfortunately, only having one Burning Abyss card is sort of a brick. But we're going second and their opponent starts off with a diagram, so we do want to stop that because regardless of what kind of diagram deck they're playing, we don't want that going off. But he does have a second diagram, and that's going to allow him to just proceed with his dinosaur plays and just pretty much do whatever he wants. I can't stop him at this point, but I do have a Kaiju, so I don't feel too bad about it. That Lithosagem hurts a lot, but yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. And so he is playing the Yang Zing version. He goes in the Danglong. And he misplays by not sending a Chiwu into the graveyard because that would have set him up for another negation after using pillars. But I'm perfectly fine with that misplay. So then on my turn, I'm able to Kaiju the Crystal Wing because I don't want to deal with that. He uses Lagia to negate the summon of a Hammer Kong, and that allows me to special summon 2 Burning Abyss monsters. And I was going to go into an Invoker, but then I looked at my extra deck and was like, oh, Lithosagem, banish my Invoker. So that sucked. But he did have an extra negation for it anyway, so I really don't think this game was winnable, and I probably shouldn't have played it out. I probably just should have scooped to conceal my deck, but I was being stubborn. Now the Alec does save me on his turn because it negates the Chambara's effect, so he couldn't attack twice. And that does allow me to have one more turn to survive, which actually I do think I had a way to win this game. So I'm actually curious if you think this game was a winnable game or not. I lose, like I ultimately lose, but I think it was winnable because when I do try to attack into his Oviraptor with a Whiptail, I had another Whiptail in my hand and it didn't let me activate it. And so that would have made it 2400, so I could have attacked over and banished his Oviraptor. Then on his turn I could have equipped the other Whiptail that I brought back with Laika. So I would have had a Drident that had 3600 attack. And so I'm not sure how he's going to out Drident with 3600 attack when he's going to draw into a Cosmic Cyclone that doesn't do anything. His back rows are 9 pillars and like something else. What was his other back row? Like a spell or something? Yeah, terraforming. So diagram's not going to do anything. He already has diagram. Bios can't get over that. Like Chambara can't get over that. And I'm not sure what you're doing with the Oviraptor, Miscellaneousaurus, and Lithosagem to get over that as well. So I'm not sure if he's able to get over that. So let me know in the I guess I'll put a poll in the top right corner of the screen. Do you think that was a winnable game? So if I had summoned the Drident with 3600 attack, would I have won that game? Like, what was his out to that? So let's go ahead and move on to game 2. We're going to be going first. And we're going to open up with Rat, Whiptail, Barrier, Mirror Force, and Mathematician. So we have a lot of normal summons, so the Mathematician and the Whiptail are kind of dead. But nonetheless, summoning the Rat's going to let us send a combo, which thins our deck out and gives us sort of a recovery play for later on in the duel. And fortunately, his hand wasn't that good as well, so he's forced to just summon a Suwani and set one and pass. And so part of me wants to think that his face down is a 9 pillars, but regardless of whether that is 9 pillars or not, I do just have to go into the Zoodiac plays. He doesn't respond to it, so I am able to just Whiptail over his Suwani. So that sucks for him, and I still have the Barrier, Mirror Force, then Mathematician, and Ghost Ogre in hand. The Ghost Ogre is huge because he does have double diagram, but for some reason he chooses not to activate it, and so he plays very conservatively. That's something that I've noticed, but I mean, I'm fine with him not playing the diagram right now, because I guess, you know, he knows it's going to get destroyed, so there's no point. So he's holding that for later. But I don't know that at the time. And so I just push with the Drident a little bit more. Just kind of sort of play the beat down because he has to answer the Drident. He drew into a Dark Hole, which allowed him to do that. But then, of course, I have the Ogre for the first diagram. He plays the second one. But he doesn't really have much to destroy, so he's forced to just search Lithosagem. And he can't really activate Lithosagem's effect. So this lets me use Zoodiac combo to, you know, put my stuff back, draw another card. I draw the Imperial Order, which is broken, and now that Mathematician's getting me a play. And because he hasn't activated that back row yet, I'm pretty sure it's not a barrier. If it is 9 pillars, it's dead. And so I feel pretty good about just playing into it. And then when he tries to activate the diagram, he activates Cosmic Cyclone. He could have banished the Imperial Order to guarantee that the diagram goes off, but really at that point in time, like, I mean, what do you do? What do you destroy? Lithosagem? To get back a Suwani maybe, but you know, what do you do with a Suwani versus Beatrice? Or maybe he does have the Kaiju, but I don't think this game was winnable. There's a Mirror Force barrier set. I sent the Skarm in his standby phase just in case he did have the Kaiju, and he did. So I was going to be able to search a tour guide that would have got me a Zoodiac play next turn. I don't think this is winnable for him, regardless of that play. And so we're going to have to go into game 3. But unfortunately, In our game 3, we got disconnected, and so I couldn't save the replay or anything. And so, let me know in the top right corner of the screen, who do you think would have won game 3? Who was going to win this match? Was it me, him? We were tied 1-1. Who was going to win this match? Place your bets. And now, by the grace of the Yugi gods, I guess we were the only ones playing online in YGO Pro Ranked at the time. And so when I went back into the the ranked section, we ended up playing again. And so now we do actually get to see who's going to win. So I'm curious to see who you guys are placing your bets on, and then who you guys are going to think is going to win. So let's go ahead and get into the next match. And so game 1, I'm going first, and the hand is decent. We have 2 kaijus, 2 normal summon zoo monsters, and a ghost ogre. And so 2 kaiju, 2 normal summons kind of sucks. And again, we get our rat normal summon ghost ogre. We send combo just so we had the recovery play once again. But his hand is just as bad. So he summons miscellaneous attacks, passes. And then back on our turn, we draw barrier. So then we do go into another Zoodiac play using the Ram. We're going to Tiger Mortar Rat back under it. And then use that to get our plays going. And now he's going to use his Ash Blossom against Broadbull. And Ash is so bad against Zoodiacs. It really doesn't do anything at all. But now that he's used that, I know that I'm going to be able to go into my my Ram play. And I really wished in this case that I had Tornado Dragon in the extra deck, because Tornado Dragon has enough attack to attack over Miscellaneosaurus. But in this case, because Emerald and Drident are both just so weak, I just have to pass on what they were. So he summons the direct Aiolo, and I just go ahead and barrier him so he can't synchro. And now he has to get over this kaiju. And so on his turn, I just straight kaiju him back, and then I'm able to attack over my own kaiju. And I'm just going to play the beat down with a singular kaiju. He has to draw the out to it. If he doesn't draw the out to it, I'm going to beat him. And then on my turn, I draw a Mathematician, and that's going to allow me to send a Libic, start some Burning Abyss plays, and that's going to eventually give me enough damage to win. And so I'm able to win game 1. Now let's go ahead and move on to game 2. So he's going to be going first in game 2. We opened up decent. We have 2 Mirror Force, a Zoo Monster, Ghost Ogre, and Barbar. So at least we have a way to disrupt him on his turn. We have the Ghost Ogre. Then we have double Mirror Force for our turn. And he just has to pass on an Oviraptor, which sucks. So then on our turn, we're going to go into our standard Zoodiac plays, but he does Ogre the Broadbull, which sucks. But we're going to search a rat so that we can send combo next turn. And then again have a recovery play with combo that we send to the graveyard. And then maybe even get our Zoodiac plays going. And now on his turn, he summons a baby and attacks. So I didn't want to Mirror Force a baby. So he made the right move there and then uses Little Sagem in his main phase too. And then he goes into a Dinglong play. And now at this point I decided to send Ghost Ogre to stop the Dinglong, because I didn't want him to be able to send the Chi in and then get double negation off of that one play. So I sort of won for one, but not really. But he was in a very good position after what he did on his turn. And so I am able to normal summon the rat sing combo, but I really can't do much else, and then he's able to just attack pretty much. And I Mirror Force 1, it gets negated. But then he gets back another monster. And then on his main phase 2, he synchros and spins the second Mirror Force back to my deck. And then I didn't even realize this was such a good interaction, but the Baxia and then destroying a baby to bring back a monster is actually pretty cool. And he summons a kaiju so that I can't kaiju him on my turn. He knows I plays kaijus. And it's crazy because I actually do draw into a kaiju on my turn. Which is crazy because I would have been able to kaiju his Tyranno, summon my 2 Burning Abyss monsters, make Invoker, and then probably break his board. So him summoning a kaiju to his side of the field was a great move. And so let's go to game 3. In game 3, we opened up decent. We have a Thoroughblade Whiptail. So Thoroughblade effect is live. We have 2 Zoo normal summons. 2 Zoo normal summons, I mean. Then we have 2 Burning Abyss monsters so we can summon an Invoker possibly. Or we can just make like a Burning Abyss play. And then we have Imperial Order, which is just a fantastic card. And so we're going to start by special summoning Graph. And he does have the Max C, which is very unfortunate, but I don't want to just pass on Graph. So I normal summon the Skarm. I don't set the Skarm because if I set Skarm, it destroys Graph and Graph won't get the effect. But by normal summoning Skarm, it's something else he has to play through. And it's going to be able to search me a tour guide later on. And then I just go ahead and set the Imperial Order as a little bit of defense. So he summons Suwani, tries to attack over the Skarm. I'm fine. That's going to get my search. And then he sets a back row. And now I normal summon the Cow Cab, and I think I want to play around like what that back row is. And I'm thinking that it could just be a 9 pillars, but I'm not sure. I'm like, I don't want to activate Dante's effect and get Dante shuffled back into the deck. That sucks. So I just summon Dante in defense to force him to make a play, and then afterwards the 2 Burning Abyss monsters will trigger, if he can out the Dante. So then on his turn, I think he makes a pretty big misplay. He summons Oviraptor, then Miscellaneosaurus, which will get him a Direct Aiolo, and he goes into a Trishula, which I think was a huge mistake here, because The Trish will of course get rid of the Dante, it'll get rid of a card in my hand, but those material under the Dante are going to trigger. That allows me to get a Scarm to set up for next turn. I can bounce back the back row, and then all he can do is attack over the Scarm. So that was a relatively weak play when he could have made a board that was going to give him some defense, such as summoning a Dinglong. And so then on his next turn, now that I know that I don't have to worry about the his face down monster, his face down spell or trap being a 9 pillars, I'm able to just play really freely. And so I play Slumber, give him the Gamesio, Tour Guide, give myself Dante, Beatrice, so I can attack over everything. I'm going to be able to finish this turn with a pretty big board. So now he has to get around the Beatrice, he can't Kaiju me. And then I do have the Imperial Order as well. And then the in phase, I send Zoodiac combo, that way I'm going to have a recovery play on my next turn, knowing that I have the Whiptail, so that I won't be able to like send combo on my own turn. And so I decided to just attack over all of his Yang Zing so that none of them get the effects, or I'm sorry, they all get the effects, but I want to just force him out of his Yang Zing monsters. And then on his next turn, he just doesn't draw what he needs to draw in order to really have a chance in this game, so I'm just gonna end up steamrolling. And so I end up winning the match 2-1 after not being able to finish the first one. So in the battle between Burning Abyss Zoodiacs and True King Dinosaurs, we came out on top this time. I'm going to try to upload some more duels sometime later this week, and we're going to see how this deck plays out against pure Zoodiacs, or maybe True Draco Zoodiacs, or one of the other really top decks right now. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.